I started this semester by saying that my goal was to form good relationships with the students at Florence Crittendense Services, or FloCrit for short, as I'll be referring to it. More specifically, I wanted the girls to trust me and to see me as more than just an outsider. First semester at FloCrit was more about observing and learning about my placement, but I felt removed from the girls. I understood the overarching systemic and social problems that gave FloCrit a reason to exist, but I didn't know what the girls actually thought about it. I asked myself, what was the reality for them on a day-to-day basis? So I usually work in the Baby Bucks store, sorting new donations that come in. But one day, they asked me if I could help out in the ECEC, which is the on-campus daycare facility, specifically to work in the infant room. There was one little girl named Lily that I basically held the entire time because she fell asleep as I was holding her. And God forbid I tried to put her down, she would just wake right back up again and start crying. So I just held her the entire time. When Lily's mother came to pick her up, she took her from me and thanked me for getting her daughter to take a much-needed nap. Up until this point, I had little to no interaction with either the students or their children. I was more of a behind-the-scenes person who helped with day-to-day operations in Baby Bucks and Green Garage. I had wanted to work in the ECEC since the beginning, so I was really excited when my supervisor said they needed help. I was nervous because I knew how much these children mean to their mothers. And I mean, they mean the world to them. The mothers at FloCrit are some of the most dedicated and loving mothers that I have ever seen. So naturally, I was very aware of how much responsibility you have if you take care of the kids while their mothers are in class. When Lily's mother came in and thanked me, I felt like I had broken through a wall. There was trust being built, and her mother had entrusted her daughter's care to me. By her being able to trust me, I gave her a peace of mind so that she could focus on school. And that's basically the whole point of the ECEC, is to have trusted caretakers watch the children while the mothers can focus on school and not have to worry if their child is safe. And I'm really glad that I got to contribute to that. On another occasion, I was working down in Baby Bucks, sorting some new donations, and one of the students came down to help, which is pretty unusual because most of the girls are in class when I'm down there. We ended up spending the entire time just talking like we were friends, and she was really interested in how I came to be volunteering at FloCrit and how I liked it. She was interested to know why I volunteered in college and why I chose FloCrit. She did treat me like an outsider, and it all just felt really normal despite the differences in our respective circumstances. Since then, she comes down to help me in Baby Bucks fairly often. Up until this point, the moms have trusted me to know and take care of their children, but I hadn't actually had the opportunity to connect with the girls themselves. After this happened, I felt as if there were no barriers between us, and that we were just two friends helping each other out. I mean, isn't that what service should be? Just two people helping each other out and being decent to each other? What really stuck with me from this incident was that she was so curious about my volunteer work. Up until this incident, I didn't think that the students even cared that we were volunteers. I feel like it's taboo for the people we serve to ask us why we do it. Most often, at least in my experience, they just accept the service you give them and don't really take it any further. Another taboo is that those who are marginalized don't do service themselves, which is completely untrue. I've seen multiple girls come down and help out the volunteers just because they simply wanted to. And I wouldn't be surprised if many of the girls do service on their own. What's even more powerful than someone of privilege serving the marginalized is the marginalized serving their own community. It makes me question how much more of myself I could give when people who have much less still give to others in their community. These two incidents and several others have helped inform my answer to the question of how ought we to live. From these experiences at my placement, I now more fully understand the importance of solidarity with those I encounter, not only in my placement, but in my community at large. I've come to recognize the interdependence of myself and the community I live in. I find it more meaningful and more useful to view the people I serve at my placement as those who are also fighting for the common good.